This is how we went from this to this. But wait, how did it get to this point? Let me show you. Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. Today we are going to be looking at this Xbox One S. It is the disc edition console, and from what I was told when I bought this, it had a faulty HDMI port. But if we look at the HDMI port here, it doesn't actually look too bad. Now I do see it looks a little bent on the one side. Now I have tested this and the HDMI does work. It's not finicky or anything. It just, I don't know, the port just looks a little bent. Now what I have noticed though is with this console, there are two things. One, it is extremely dirty, and I mean like, did someone spill some sort of liquid inside of this device? Like, this is disgusting. I don't know if you can see this, but it does not look very clean, to be honest. And it also doesn't take in discs. It's like it's stuck. Let's plug it in and let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so we got the Xbox turned on here. Now watch, if I get out a disc, Gears of War 4, if we try to put it in, it gets stuck. It really revs up. You hear that? Just doesn't want to go in no matter if I force it or anything. So I think there might be something stuck inside of this console. But no matter what, it doesn't want to go in. So we're going to take this thing apart. We're going to do a full deep clean on it. And we're going to take you along for the journey. And immediately as I'm taking this thing apart, we can already get a glimpse at some sort of liquid in the system. I'm struggling to get this bottom cover off because of how sticky it is. But let's continue to dig into this and see what else we find. Okay, so we got that off now. Let's take a peek at, oh my God. Oh my God. Take a look at this. Holy crap. There is everything, but there's some sort of liquid here. You guys see this? There's some sort of liquid. Let's set that aside for now. And let's take a look at this. As you can see, like I said, right there, some sort of liquid. Look in there, some sort of candy it looks like. I don't even know, some liquid back here too, right there. Well, let's get this top half off, I guess, now. So as I'm taking out these green screws that hold the top half of the case together, I noticed that almost all of these screws are loose, meaning someone has been inside and didn't have a clue what they were doing. There we go. And holy cow. Wow, that is disgusting. Why is this in my house? Wow, take a look at that. That is just crazy. Okay, well, let's look at the actual console too. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh, piece of broken plastic. Not as bad as I expected, I guess. I mean, it's pretty damn bad. Let's get everything out. One thing kind of cool to note, this is the 1 terabyte Xbox, so that's kind of exciting. Now that everything has been removed, we now need to take off the fan. On the other side of the motherboard, we have the X-clamp that holds it on. I actually just got a tool to remove X-clamps faster. Let's give it a try. So this was my first time trying it out, and I won't lie, I had to look up a video to show me how to use it. But you lift up on the tool and push in the middle of the clamp legs, and it just pops up. Honestly, such an amazing tool if you do lots of work on Xbox consoles. Wow, god dang, that's awesome. Okay, let's take off this. And let's go check out this thermal paste in 3, 2, 1. Damn, non-existent. Let's unplug this real quick. There you go, got that unplugged, and take a look at this dust. Holy, this is some disgusting. Look at that thermal paste on this. Wow. And just take a look. Look at that beauty. Nothing there. Nothing there. This board is pretty gross, I won't lie. Bottom side's pretty clean, but that's to be expected. But the top side, like, look at this. Ready? This is how I'm going to feel afterwards. All right, well, now that we got everything taken apart, we need to start cleaning. Now, you might be wondering how a console can get so disgusting. Well, in the case of this Xbox One S, it was most likely that it was in a smoker's house. Smoke releases an oil that basically coats the items in a film that makes dust buildup really easy. The orangish color of dust we see is most likely a mixture of that oil, smoke, and dust. This was probably one of the most disgusting systems I've ever opened. It was also really weird as I kept finding what looked like little pieces of the candy nerds. Every piece I removed, more and more dust would fall onto my table. It was like showering dust. All right, so now that we got the shell cleaned up, we need to take a look at this disk drive. Now, I've never actually opened one of these disk drives before. The first thing I see is do not open disk drives. So we're gonna break that on. Oh, cool, look at that. There's a little Halo dude there. All right, so let's figure out how to get this open. Okay, so I got a bunch of screws out there. Now, does this just come apart? There we go, look at that. Hell yeah. Okay. Okay, so I guess now we're gonna have to take this part even further. I don't actually know what I'm looking for in here, so we're just kind of digging around, seeing what we can find. Looks like we're gonna have to take off this motherboard and maybe this ribbon cable here. Okay, well that was pretty simple. That comes right out. And now we can get the actual laser assembly out. Okay, now does this whole thing just come out? It does, look at that. There we go. That comes out. Okay, well it doesn't look too dirty in here, if I'm being honest. I was kind of hoping to see something stuck, but I'm not seeing anything as of right now. Just a little bit of dust. I don't know if you can see this, and dust right here. But nothing that I'm seeing so far that... I don't know how that's supposed to work. All right, so sorry for the cut. I actually had to go look up a video on how to take this cover off because I could not figure it out. But we got it off, and we are now at the mechanicals of the drive. So here's where we can kind of test all of our mechanicals, you know? So let's play around and see what we can find out. Editor Jag here. I want to explain what happened here. So when I first opened up the disk drive, I didn't really know what I was looking for, and when poking around, I knocked off this arm and gear. I then looked up a video of how it was supposed to attach onto the disk drive and spent the next 30 minutes attempting to get it on. When I got it on, I noticed that it was poking above the black gear, and it wasn't supposed to do that. So I got it installed properly and continued on with what I was doing, only to notice I didn't record any of it. So you are now seeing after I have attached that gear and arm. Editor Jag, out. So we're going to start by giving everything a little bit of a clean. There's quite a bit of dust in this machine. It just doesn't seem to be moving as smoothly. So when I pull this down and push this up, these move down and this goes, right? And that clicks in. That's good. It just feels very choppy, if that makes sense. Like, I'm just not sure if it's supposed to, actually, that's feeling a little bit more smooth already. Wow, could it really have just been dirty? I don't know. Let's give everything a clean and we'll go from there. And we'll give our rollers a clean while we're in here. These are definitely not the issue. Like, I know the rollers are pulling in. They're pulling in just fine. But we're in here. We might as well clean them, right? Oof, those are disgusting. Wow. Yeah, those definitely needed a little bit of a clean, eh? Okay, so I've jumped between a few videos just to take a peek, and everything that I see on this drive looks okay. All this stuff moves like it should. Everything is looking pretty clean. So I've kind of readjusted things, but we're going to put it back together and see if we've changed anything. And I mean, hopefully we did. So we're going to get our DVD drive back in there. And judging by this, and since we have it out, we're just going to clean the laser a little bit. That all spins freely. And yeah, I mean, everything looks good in here, to be honest. And that's sad because I don't know what else to be looking for. But we're just going to put it back together and see what happens, you know? Sometimes just a nice little disassembly and some cleaning can really do a lot. So first, let's get on this shell. So I think it went on like this. Or no, sorry, it went on like this. Oh no, we broke off one of our wires. That means we'll have to solder that on. Dang it. Okay, so I got the soldering iron heating up. So we can throw this back in now. And which way did it go, I wonder? I think it went like this, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, and I think we can put these screws back in. So we got all that in. Our soldering iron is heating up. So let's head over to our brand new microscope that my girlfriend just bought me. Shout out, girlfriend! So here we're just using some wire strippers to strip back some bare wire so that we can solder it onto the pad. There we go. We got it. Look at that. That's some good wire right there, folks. Okay, let's clean our soldering iron tip. Nice and clean. And let's grab some pliers and let's go to town. We'll start by heating this up. Oops, I guess I should be ready for it, eh? Okay, and there we go. It's actually kind of ugly. Let's throw some solder onto it, I guess. Throw a tiny little blob of solder on. There we go. That looks a little better, eh? What do you guys think? I think that looks pretty good. Okay, so now that we're back, we've got that soldered on there, which is nice. It's not a perfect job, but it will do. So now that we got this all reassembled, I guess let's put this back cover back on. And I guess we're gonna head over to the motherboard and take a peek at that. And we got our disk drive all put back together here. So, oh, I guess not. Sorry, I guess we gotta get this on. There we go. And that big screw, wherever that one went. Oh, did I lose it? I lost it. Oh well, it's a big screw. It will reappear at the end. Now, let's go divert our attention over to this disgusting thermal paste. So we got to get this cleaned off. So I got some isopropyl alcohol here and some Q-tips. I'm going to have to grab some more. Let's get this all full and let's get the cleaning. And now we got to get this side of the fan, but we're going to deal with this side of the fan after. Let's take a look at our motherboard now. This one's going to be a little interesting to clean, that's for sure. Let's start with the thermal paste. Okay, and we got most of that cleaned up. So now let's just start working on the motherboard, I guess, eh? Got the board pretty clean there. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get everything, but I've got a lot of the surface dust off in a lot of the areas, but it would just take so long to clean it. So now we are going to take a look at cleaning this fan. And instead of using isopropyl alcohol for this, we are just going to use water, because I find isopropyl alcohol leaves kind of just like the dirt there where the water actually will clean it off. So enjoy this cleaning montage. Okay, and there we go. So that's our clean fan right there. It's not perfect. Unfortunately, I can't really get down into these crevices very well or anything like that. But compared to what it looked like before, take a look at some of these Q-tips. Like, absolutely disgusting. So this is a huge difference. This is spinning nice. Listen, beautiful. Fan number 1. Now you can actually see that it says that. Crazy. All right, so now that we got this fan cleaned, let's put our thermal paste on. All right, so we're gonna go for the perfect amount of thermal paste. Now, let's spread around the thermal paste. There we go. And I'm just gonna take a Q-tip and just clean up some of that spillage. But there we go. Look at that. That's perfect. And now we can go ahead and put this on. I think it goes this way because that fan plugs in to there. And let's set this down like that. Perfect. And we'll go on this side and grab our X clamp. There we go. That X clamp's on and that fan is on. Perfect. So now we've got that done. Now we got to go and grab the case and everything like that. It's pretty crazy that after all of this, this white still looks as good as it does. White usually shows all imperfections and dirt and grime and smoke and all that nonsense. And still, after all of this time, after that deep cleaning, it still looks flawless. Honestly, really happy with how it turned out. All right, so we got all of our parts clean now and they're all dry. So let's get this console put back together. So we got the Xbox put together enough that we can test it now. So let's get it plugged in and try a disc. It's plugged in, let's turn it on. Okay, it still turns on. It's a good sign. Is it gonna take the disc? Hell yeah, let's go, baby, let's go. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, let's get this thing fully put back together and give it a test. All right, guys, so now we've got it all plugged in. Let's turn it on. And okay, there we go. We are at the home screen. Let's pop in a disc and see if it reads. There we go. Look at that. It works. Everything works. Now you might be wondering what actually fixed the disk drive. So when we look back at previous footage, we can see that the white arm was sticking out from behind the black plastic gear. I didn't notice this when I first opened up the disk drive, but it would explain why that white arm fell off so easy. When we take a look after I got that arm attached, we can see that it was behind the black gear, and everything started moving smoothly after that. It wasn't until I started editing this video that I figured out that that's what was wrong with the disk drive. All right, and there we go. We now have a fully working, fully cleaned Xbox One S that we can hopefully sell off to a new home where they can get tons of enjoyment out of it. And if you've made it this far, I just want to say thank you so much for sticking around and watching me clean this disgusting system. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you guys leave a like, leave a comment, share, whatever you want to do. Let me know. Did you like this video? Would you like to see more? As always, we'll catch you in the next video. Later!